All right, guys, I am back again, and it is now a little after 2 o'clock on Friday, April 19th, 2019. And I apologize, guys. I just made that video, and I realized I didn't mention the other risk event that happened last week, which I mentioned in the Australian dollar preview video a few days ago, and that was out of the Euro Zone. We had PMI and services PMI, manufacturing PMI data. And if you remember what I said in the other video, that said normally these don't really do a lot, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to them. CPI numbers out of the Eurozone can be important, but these services PMI and manufacturing PMI, even though they have them as red and orange, a lot of times don't do anything, or they're very small moves, certainly nothing I would trade. But I did mention that because of the sensitivity of the euro right now, and the ECB still, being dovish and being very data dependent, I wanted to see how these came out, and I thought that they could be important. And so we had a little bit of a mixed bag. So we had services PMI and manufacturing PMI for France, Germany, and the Eurozone as a whole. And so you can see what happened is the manufacturing PMIs were negative. And anything under 50 is considered to be kind of recessionary, so not good. Anything over 50, right around 50 is like kind of neutral, but anything over 50 is considered to be, kind of in growth mode. So you can see we had a little bit of a mixed bag. And for France, we had manufacturing negative, services positive. Same thing for Germany. And for the Eurozone as a whole, it was a little bit opposite. The services actually was down, although it was still over 50. So even though this was negative, it's not trending in the right direction, but at least it's still over 50. And flash manufacturing came out the same. So you initially look at that and say, kind of a mixed bag, maybe nothing happened. So, but I think the market kind of looked at the manufacturing one as more important, clearly. And basically, these are just surveys they do of businesses about, hey, this is kind of like the Australian dollar business survey I mentioned in the last video. Manufacturing, they're like, hey, you guys getting a lot of orders? Are you expecting to ramp up production? Are you going to hire more people or give more hours to people, whatever? And then services PMI is anything that's not manufacturing related. Same thing, other businesses, you're going to be hiring, giving people more hours, providing more services. They're just like not hard manufacturing like goods. So they look at different sectors, but they're asking the same questions. And so, like I said, I don't always pay attention. These come out like right at the beginning of the London session. You see 3:15, 3:30 a.m. my time, 4 a.m. I mean, I'm sleeping then, but I did actually set an alarm for these because I thought they could be important. And there were a couple of good trades. So we just looked at the charts really quick. So this is one of these situations, guys, where you want to make sure that you're trading a strong currency against a weak currency, because depending which pair you looked at, this may or may not have been good for you. So this vertical line, this is the Euro Canadian on the hourly chart. This vertical line is when the news came out. So I'll take this off. And you can see what happened down. Okay, and this was a nice trade. It recovered since, and a lot of this has to do with the Canadian. But this would have been a nice trade to take. Although I did not take this one. I took the Euro dollar, which I don't trade a lot, but I did take it on this one. But this would have been a nice trade too. Euro Canadian's a nice pair to trade if the Canadian doesn't blow it up. So, but clearly the CAD was weak at this time. I mean, it was stronger at this time, and the Euro was weak. So you always want to take strong against weak. Euro Aussie. Here's where the news came out, and you can see this didn't really do much, and that's because the Aussie was also going down at this time on the back of that follow up from the employment news I showed you on the last video with the chart that it started off strong and then it went down. So if you had two currencies going in the same direction, you're going to have very little movement, and that's what happened. We're just sideways choppy, and so this would not have been a good one to trade. And again, it's very important that you are aware of the currency you're pairing against. What is that one doing at the moment? You want to get ones that are diverging for the best move, and you can see this really did nothing. That would have been a good trade. Same idea on the Euro Kiwi, because the Kiwi was still weakening at the time, And so that would not have been a good one. Here's where the news came out. It didn't really do anything. It went down a little bit, and then it went up because the Kiwi started to weaken again. And so that that generally pushed it up. So the Kiwi had an influence there. And then Euro Yen was really good. Here's the Euro Yen. And we had some risk off sentiment. So we had some more, this was fueled by just people just buying up the yen anyways. That happens sometimes in the market where people get a little antsy, especially if the stock market is showing down. They'll buy like what they think is a safe haven currency. So this was fueled not only by the Euro Zone numbers, but also by the yen strength. All the yen pairs were going down at this time. So this was a nice trade. I did take this one too, but you see I'm out of it already. So, and then the last one, of course, was euro dollar. And again, here's where the news came out. And this also shot down too. And I did take this one as well, which I'm out of now. And that was a good trade too, because the US dollar fundamentally was strong, as I showed you in the last video, and had been going up anyways, even before the retail sales numbers. So that's the results of that, guys. And I think this is going to continue to put pressure on the euro going forward. And I would, you know, longer term, still be looking for shorts on the euro, though certainly we can get some rallies. And on sentiment, which is what's happening here, it probably will go up some more, but ultimately this will turn back down early next week. And it looks like this is probably a wave 4. We've got a 1, 2, 3, and then this is a little 4, and then we'll go down again and probably hit this low again. Then that'll end this trend, and then we'll have a bigger correction. So I will be looking for a short on the euro dollar down, and probably on euro yen as well. Looks pretty much the same thing as the euro dollar. We'll correct a little bit more. We'll come down, probably hit this low again, and then that'll be it. So it could be some short-term trades to be had on those two pairs anyways. So, all right, guys, so I apologize, but I wanted to make that video because I did mention it in the preview video earlier in the week. So I just wanted to follow up. So that's it, guys. Short and sweet. Have a great weekend, like I said, and I'll talk to you all very soon. All right, thanks. Make sure you share the video, like it, etc.